What's going on, everybody? Gregory here from Max Creation. Last week, I released an Odd Times of Dream Theater video. So I want to share with everybody 2 tips. I want to talk about scale fragments, and I want to talk about time signatures in general. Scale fragments are just a small portion of a scale, and it basically gives you the essential or foundation fingerings that you're going to find throughout all the scales and modes and what have you, okay? So based on the fingers we're gonna play, regardless of what frets we're playing, we're gonna play 1, 2, and 4 over here. That is a scale fragment, all right? We can play 1, 3, 4. All right, so now it's a whole step and a half step as opposed to a half step and a whole step, all right? Don't let that jargon bother you. It's just, 1 fret is a half step, 2 frets is a whole step. Keep that in mind. All right, so next, the final one is we have 2 whole steps, right? Or 2 frets apart from each other, 5, 7, 7, 9. And as you play your scale horizontally across the fretboard, you're gonna see that it's made up of these individual scale fragments, such as, there's that one, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, there's the whole step, there's my 1, 3, 4 pattern. There's my 1, 2, 4 pattern, right? So they're made up in there, okay? So what Petrucci does, you take this all over the fretboard, you learn your modes and your scales throughout your positions. I hesitate to use the word modes across, right? But your scale positions, and you're gonna see, just like I moved horizontally, as we move vertically, these scale fragments are there, right? So for example, if I play the G major scale or Ionian mode in 3rd position here, I'm on a 7-string standard tuning, nothing fancy, all right? So it starts out with that fragment, the whole step fragment, and then it moves to the 1, 2, 4, and then it moves to the 1, 3, 4. So that would be that position, and it encapsulates all 3 of those fragments. And so what Petrucci will do, he'll put these odd times on them and he'll sequence them in different interval patterns, right? He's not just gonna descend and ascend in a scalular fashion, right? And so when you see songs like the Metropolis Part 1, when he's just going off in this long crazy run, realize you're just kind of moving through positions and you're playing these fragments, these small little areas, right? So you can see here, I'm just playing and then jumping up, right? Right, so as you can practice this, so depending on where you are in your playing, in your musical journey, right? If you're new and you're a beginner, it'd be really good for you to isolate these fragments, pick through them in a whole lots of different ways and permutations across the fretboard, all right? In the tabs, which you can find down in the description below, I'll sequence out some exercises that you can work on, all right? And that's gonna lead me over to the other thing I wanna talk about, and that's time signatures, okay? And there was some funny comments like 25/16, nobody plays in 25/16, that's fucking stupid. You're right, it is stupid, and you're right, you don't play like that for the most part. I don't sit here and think about, I'm gonna play in 25/16 and then count that out as I'm playing. That doesn't make any sense at all. So when you look at these Dream Theater riffs and you're all these odd times going on, realize that they're using these odd times as accent patterns and rhythms as their creative muse, right? You can look at 5/8 and 7/8, and you can accent those different ways, such as 3 and 2, or 3, 2 and 3. Going back to what I was talking about with, say, scale fragments, I can go, and there's my riff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And now I can just say that and get comfortable with it, and I'm counting it, but I'm feeling it as a dat, 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 and I'm using that to map out my sequence or my choice of notes. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So don't go crazy trying to count 25/16 when realistically, that measure of 25/16 is just a small snippet or a run of groups of 5, right? 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, right? So there you guys go. 2 tips to help play through those examples. I hope that helps. even in the slightest. I think Dream Theater has about 54 albums, so if you want to talk more Dream Theater, let me know below and we can break it down even farther. So, further? farther, further. So as always, let me know what you come up with. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.